Coming up tonight, police investigating a bizarre turn of events which leave a man dead and another fighting for his life. And thousands turn out to the Red Cross Fair. The Bahamas Tonight weekend starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
A Yellow Elder Gardens man is in police custody tonight after they advanced their investigation into two homicides just moments apart this weekend. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keish Latterly. Thanks for joining us. An altercation at a government apartment complex on East Street turned deadly last night after the men who shot a man in the head were hunted down and one of them stabbed to death. The shooting victim, we're told, got into a fight with two men around 8:30. The suspects fled the scene in a gold-colored vehicle, but police say a group of men from the apartment complex pursued the suspects, firing shots at them. Superintendent Paul Roll told ZNS News on the scene that the suspect's vehicle then crashed into a nearby utility pole.
They exited this vehicle, still being pursued by these males. One of the men collapsed nearby a business establishment where one of his pursuers stabbed him multiple times about the body. He was transported to Princess Margaret Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries.
Now, the man who was shot in the head, we're told, remains in serious condition. And just a half an hour later, all of that unfolded. Another man lost his life while attending a barbecue on Enia Street. Police say the 31-year-old male victim of Samuel's Addition off Farrington Road was stabbed to death by a man armed with a knife.
There was an exchange of words, and he in turn stabbed the deceased here multiple times to the chest and upper body. EMS responded to the scene where they pronounced him lifeless. The assailant ran away from the scene, and as he ran, officers from the enforcer unit arrived on the scene, received information, and pursued the suspect, apprehending him some distance away. It's a 27-year-old male of Yellow Elder Gardens.
Police also have 3 armed robbery investigations on their hands. In the first incident, which happened just before 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, police say 2 men armed with a handgun robbed a drugstore on Blue Hill Road south of an undetermined amount of money before fleeing on foot. And 2 hours later, a man armed with a handgun robbed a wholesale store on Charles Vincent Street of an undisclosed sum of money before also fleeing on foot. In the third incident, just after midnight Sunday, 2 men armed with handguns robbed 4 men of cash who were playing a game of dominoes in front of a home in Sunset Park. If you have any information on any of these incidents, you're asked to contact police at telephone numbers 911 or 919. You can also contact your nearest police station. Housing Minister Kenra Dorset says the latest housing program may have gotten off to a slow start, but it's now underway. He told ZNS News recently about the progress and what to expect from the Housing Ministry.
In Strawn's Hill, we are completing 3 pilot homes, and we're about to issue contracts, which we've just finalized this week with the Attorney General's office, because we've made some changes to those contracts, having regard to new private inspectors being utilized and the like. And so we will now begin the complete build out of Strawn's, where every lot will be built on.
Meantime, a new consultant has been appointed at the Housing Ministry with the goal of streamlining the applicant selection process.
What that will do for us is enable us to really pre-qualify our applicants internally, which hopefully will reduce this process of assignment being given before pre-qualification, only having to reassign a home, because it creates frustration for the assignee, who has a huge expectation once they get that assignment letter. And it also creates a bit of a challenge for us in having to revisit the processes over and over again without the lack of pre-qualification. So we are hoping that with the new appointment and with the strong work ethic that he brings to the team, that we'll be able to resolve those issues.
In other news tonight, Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald says the government is about to amend the law to allow government to legally fingerprint teachers, especially foreign educators. The issue came up a while ago when the Bahamas Union of Teachers threatened to sue the government for requesting fingerprints from foreign teachers, which the union pointed out was in breach of the Employment Act. President Belinda Wilson claimed the government wasn't only in breach of the Employment Act, but also in direct violation of the Commonwealth Recruitment Protocol, which the 54 Commonwealth ministers signed in 2004. Education Minister Fitzgerald says the fingerprinting will continue and that the government is moving to ensure that it is conducted in accordance with the law.
Been fingerprinting non-Bahamian teachers for the past 5 or 6 years. It's just that there's some teachers who were in the country prior to when we started fingerprinting the non-Bahamian teachers, and those were the ones who we asked to come forward. So it was really only a handful of them, really. And when I explained that to the union, that this has been going on for some number of years, and the fact that if need be, which we are planning to do, amend the legislation so that we'll be operating within the full authority of the law when we do so. But there's just, no way, and I think we all agreed that it would be improper for us and really negligent for us to have persons come into our school system around our young darlings who we haven't properly vetted.
Well, still ahead tonight, thousands turn out to help the Red Cross. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.